Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
You are listening to the Brilliance Business Show. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. Conversations with leading experts in business. And today I have the most incredible guest, Charles Tchoreret, also known as Charles T. Our topic today is helping people awaken the best version of themselves. Charles is an award-winning author and coach. Charles, welcome to the Brilliance Business Show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
I'm really looking forward to a conversation with Charles today. Before I get started, I'm just making a legal disclaimer that Charles is not offering legal advice or legal assistance. So let's get started with the show. Charles, can you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself and your business?
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Steve. I'm very happy to be here. Just in a few words, I want to start with telling the audience about my background as a corporate, a person working in the corporate world. I worked for just over 25 years in the oil and gas industry, and I was privileged to work in different countries. From my base country, which is Gabon in Central Africa, I also worked 4 years in the Netherlands, when I was working for Shell, and also 6 years in Nigeria. And then I spent 2 years in Oman, in the Sultanate of Oman. And it was just a great opportunity for me, but it was just powerful because I met some interesting people there. And among those people that I met, there's a few businessmen and women that I met. Those are the people who actually inspired me to actually go into business. And when I left Shell in 2010, I decided to start my own business when I moved to Canada a few years before that, back in 2008. I decided to start my own business. So basically, my business is about giving people the opportunity to unleash or to awaken the greatest version of themselves. It sounds a bit complicated, but I will hopefully through the interview I'll get a chance to explain what I mean by that. And my business is to personal development and also coaching. That's what I do basically.
Personal development is so important, and I feel the whole world is becoming more and more awake, and there's nothing better than becoming a better version of yourself. Charles, tell me, who are your clients? Who are your partners?
My partners are people. I'm targeting people who are in retirement or those who are about to go into retirement. But at the same time, I'm also targeting people who are just starting their career, but who will eventually become retirees themselves. So I want to prepare them to that crucial moment when you know that, okay, you have just a few more years to go before you get into retirement. And this is the time when people tend to panic because most of the time they're not ready for that moment, because they didn't know what to do. They were just so happy with the work they're doing, forgetting that job that they're doing will end one day. And personally, I went through that, and I want as much as possible to help those people in that group, men and women who are into retirement or who are going to retirement, to believe that going to retirement is not the end of the road. It's just the beginning of a new career, the beginning of a new journey. And it's up to each one of them to know what they want to do. And if they don't know what to do, to have me help them identify that passion that they always had inside of themselves and how to unleash it and how to make it become a reality.
Do you recall a specific aha moment that led to the launch of your business, Charles?
I think the aha moment was just like twofold. The first one, like I said earlier, when I was working in Nigeria, listening to those businessmen, men and women that I met, I was so impressed with the way they were going about their lives. They felt, from my perspective, they're looking free, able to do what they wanted, when they wanted, to be able to move around the world without any restriction. And I told myself, one day I want to become like them. And strangely enough, when I moved to Canada, I wanted to start my own business. So of course, moving to a new country is quite difficult because you don't have any contact. You don't know exactly what to do. You still need to find your way through the diverse, all the different things that take place in the new country. And I had to go back to the work market. I had to go back to working for a company. And my aha moment, it was when I got fired by that company. Strange as it may seem, I got fired by the company because the company was going through, the business wasn't going well, the sales are not good anymore, so they decided to reduce staff, and then I was the first one to be made redundant. And it was a good moment for me because when I spoke to my wife at the time, I told her, listen, hey, I just lost my job. She told me, hey, that's great because we always wanted to start our own business. Maybe this is the time for us to do it. And indeed, we started our business after that event, after that situation, after it took place. So for me, it was a two aha moments, working for Shell and meeting those people, and also when I lost my job, that really forced me to do something and to start, spreading my wings and taking care of myself.
That's a great journey, Charles. And it's funny in life how sometimes when something that we might look at as a bad experience, like losing our jobs, turns into a turning point that transforms us into a new direction. What really motivates you to jump out of bed every single day?
Now that my business is up and running, I think something that I'm really looking forward to is to be able to know that as I wake up in the morning, I will add value to people out there. It could be something as simple as a post on my Facebook page, something that will make people believe that, yes, they can do it. It's never too late to start. And this is what makes me really gives me the thrill. When I wake up in the morning to know that I will touch the heart of just one person out there. Someone who's maybe going to say, oh, thank you so much for the message that you posted, because that's what I needed. And now I know exactly what I would do, for my own business, for my own activity, or I can have to be a leader, let's say for a stay-at-home mom to say, how I can become a leader in my own household. I can help my children. And this is what really makes me, really excites me when I wake up in the morning, knowing that I can change the heart of one person out there. Yes.
What sets your business apart, and what unique need are you filling for your partners?
Say it again, please.
What sets your business apart, and what unique need are you filling for your clients and partners?
What sets me apart really when I deal with my partners, when I interact with my partners, is the approach that I have. Personally, what I want my partners to feel comfortable with me, because when I go in coaching mode with them, it's very much that we go deep into their personal life, because for me it's important for me to understand where they're coming from, what's going on into their lives. So we go into very personal questions, and that really helps me to establish the relationship with my partners, and to make them feel comfortable with opening up to me. And this is what sets me apart, because I don't just jump into telling them or showing them or helping them how to start their own business, or how to create a specific situation related to the business. I always start from the standpoint of understanding what's going on in their lives, in order for me to be able to clear whatever mess they are going through, whatever things that's preventing them from moving forward and focusing 100% on the business. By clearing all those elements, all those things around their lives, it gives them a better perspective on how they can focus on their life. And this has really set me apart, because most coaches will go into teaching what to be a good leader, or become a good businessman. But for me, it's important for my partners to understand that we have to go from the standpoint where we need to understand who they are, what they're coming from, and what's going on in their lives.
Great answer. And I can hear the passion that you have for what you are doing. It's really great to hear that you're really passionate and really about helping people. Can you share, why is your service especially important in today's modern world?
Today, I noticed something that most people want to go into business. People came to the realization that they cannot continue to live or to fulfill the dream of a company or the dream of someone else. They realize that they need to take care of themselves. They need to start living their own dreams. And I think that need is getting more and more important to people today, because they understand that by fulfilling their own dream, by starting their own business, by just giving themselves the opportunity to take control of their lives, can help them, express themselves better. It can help them affirm themselves into society in the better way. And people want more and more, that people can see more and more people will complete their high school education or university education, and they decide to go into business because they understand that that's the best way for you when you spend like the first 2-3 years of sacrifice, when you give yourself 100% into that need or that decision that you make to start your own business. You can see that after that period of or that teething period that I call it, you can see that things get better. You become financially free, and then you start more like taking control of your life. So I think today's world is very people are more going to in ways to take control of their own lives, I believe.
Can you share more detail on the kinds of service and products you offer?
What I offer, as much as possible, I try to diversify my services. Yes, I'm into personal development, and I help people and small and medium-sized companies to actually see how, first of all, in the case of individual, how they can express the best version of themselves, how they can awaken the best version of themselves. But also into organization, I teach them also into small businesses how they can work together. And usually I take the image of this boat that actually is sinking, and you see two people sitting on one end of the boat that just like still up in the air, and the other end is like two people where the hole is, and the boat is actually beginning to sink. And those people sitting there at the other end of the road said, "Oh, I'm so glad we're not on that end of the road or that end of the boat." But forgetting that they're all in the same boat, and eventually they're all going to sink. So what I've tried as much as possible to bring small and medium-sized company to understand that when you are in business, when you work for an organization, you're all on the same boat. You cannot work in silos. You need to work together as a team, because you all have the best interest, which is the success of the organization, in order for you to move forward, in order for you to grow. And the same for each individual. It's important for them to understand where they're coming from, to understand that they have to make some sacrifices in terms of what they need to achieve to get to that dream, that vision that they have themselves. There's a process they have to go through. So this is basically how I work. This is how I make a difference into individuals, but also into small and medium-sized companies.
You answered that really well, Charles. And what I'm taking from that is we're all in the same boat, collaboration, everyone working together. Now, I would imagine you have all sorts of client success stories. What is one that really stands out?
Actually, there's two I can share with you. The first one was the story of a young lady. She's from Gabon, Central Africa. Right now, she's working in the oil and gas industry. But this is a woman who always wanted to start her own business, and she's gone into candle making. And she approached me almost a year ago, and she asked me if I could help her, to set up her own business. And of course, my approach was always, yes, I want to do that, but before going there, I need to know more about you. So she told me more about herself. She told me where she's coming from, and then I realized that through the conversation that she was going through a difficult marriage because her husband left her when she was like 2 months pregnant. He decided to leave her, so she went through quite a number of challenges. And then also with her mom, she had a difficult relationship with her mom. So all those things were really getting her down. And I told her, listen, in order for you to start your own business, to focus 100% on your business, you need to clear that mess that's in your life, because that will prevent you from moving forward. And we did a 3 months, we started a 3-month session. Every week when she had homework to do. And I realized after the 3 months that she had completely managed to, first of all, to forgive herself, to forgive the people that she was mad at, especially her husband and her mom. And she managed to not to understand that everything that any outside person would tell her will not affect her the way she allowed those things to affect her before. So she went for a point where she was very angry. She was very upset about those different people, and she came to a point she understood more about who she is. She forgot. She actually was forgiving for herself and also for those people, and she managed to start a business. Today she's very successful because she's doing exhibition. She's really getting places. I'm very happy to see that, and to see that she's making a difference today.
That is great success story, and the power of forgiveness. It's amazing what you can do and how you can move forwards with the power of forgiveness. Charles, how do clients typically hear about you, and are there certain life moments that usually lead to them seeking you out?
Could you say it again, please?
How do clients typically hear about you, and are there certain life moments that usually lead to them seeking you out?
I think that my Facebook page plays a very important role, because I post a lot on my Facebook page. I do a lot of lives, and people get to know me through those different posts that I have on Facebook. And also on my Instagram, people see what I post there, so they have the opportunity to know who I am and to see what I offer. And most of the time, I get my partners. My partners want to work with me through my Facebook page.
I find your work fascinating, Charles. Is there anything we did not cover that you would like to share?
But something I want to cover is to understand, because I created a concept that I call the Greatness Trilogy. The Greatness Trilogy is my brand name, and that's the foundation for helping people awaken the best version of themselves. And within that trilogy, there are 3 key elements: their leadership skill, their fitness, and their spirituality. Usually people ask me, how come those, what do you bring, especially spirituality, into the equation? For me, it's very important, because as a leader, you have the capability, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or whether you are a corporate executive or a student in university. When you are a leader, you impact people. You can have great influence on people. And the objective is for you to make a difference into people's life. Unfortunately, because of our human nature, our ego tend to flare up. And when your ego flares up, you tend to believe, because of the impact you have on people, that you are better than everybody else. And I tell myself, okay, it's important for you to understand that it should be seen as a blessing for you when you can impact people, when you can make a difference in people's life. And then the second element, so leadership is more like impacting people. And the second point is your fitness. It's important for you as a business, as a leader, to be able to be fit, because in order for you to bring your message to your audience, you need to be fit. And then into fitness, I incorporate not just going to the gym or running around the blocks, but also the way you eat, the way you think, whatever you bring into your mind is also as part of that fitness I talk about. And spirituality is very important. Why? Because as a leader, as you start impacting people, as your ego starts flaring up, your spiritual connection will help you actually keep your feet on the ground, to understand that, okay, instead of being the one who knows more than anybody else, you will see that as a blessing, as something that you receive by grace, in order for you to touch the heart of people and to make a difference in their life. Usually people ask me the question, so what you say spirituality, is like I have to be a Christian, or to be that believe in specific things? I say, no. When I talk about spirituality, it has no religious connotation. It's more in terms of what are your core values. What is it that you want to leave, to have as a legacy when you leave this space that we call life? How do you want to be remembered? And I think your spirituality, your core values. Personally, I'm a Christian. I believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. I want the Holy Spirit to lead me. Maybe you could be a Muslim, you could be a Buddhist, you could be whatever you believe in that can help you make an impact in the world is what I call your spirituality. So those three elements are very important in order for you to manifest or to unleash the greatest version of yourself: leadership, fitness, and spirituality.
Charles, there were some great life lessons there. The ego can take over sometimes, which is not a great thing. And like you said, fitness, the way you eat, having those mental strengths, your spirituality. So thank you for sharing all of those tips. That's really, really helpful to our listeners. Before we close the radio episode, can you share with our listeners, how can people connect with you? How can people follow you? What's your website, email? Let our listeners know.
Okay, people will contact me. I'm refurbishing my website right now, but the website will be thegreatnesstrilogy.com. That will be my website. And they can also reach me on my Facebook page, which is just Tchoreret, that's my last name, and they can reach me there. They can also contact me via Instagram, and soon they're going to be able to get me on my YouTube channel, where I will have different videos there, some free videos in order for them. Those videos will cover different topics related to personal development. And basically, that is, they can also send me an email on the Tchoreret, which is my initial together with my last name, at gmail.com, and they can reach me there easily. Yeah.
Great, Charles. Could you just spell that for our listeners? How do you spell your surname?
My surname is T for Tango, C for Charlie, H for Hotel, O for Omega, R for Romeo, E for Echo, R again for Romeo, E for Echo, T for Tango. So that's Tchoreret at gmail.com.
That's great. And there will be links with the episode for your website and for your email address. So it's easy for our listeners to get a hold of you. Charles, thank you so much for being a guest on the Brilliance Business Show. I've really enjoyed interviewing you.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.